Hello! It is time for questions and answers with Brownie, right here, right now. I'm just going to kind of introduce myself a little bit to start. My name is Carissa Whitney. I've been doing LuLaRoe for just over a year, and it has changed my life. I was married young. I always knew for some reason when I was younger that I would get married young. So I graduated from high school. I met my husband in September, so I was 18, and I was scared to tell him how old I was because I was pretty sure if he found out I was 18, he'd think I was crazy, and I kind of thought he was like 30 at the time. I didn't know how old he was, so I waited all the way till November when I turned 19, and I was, so old and, mature at that point, until he found out my age. Turns out he was only 21, and anyway, we started dating in December while I was 19. He proposed to me in January, and we were married in March. So we had a quick dating and a quick marriage, and so we were married in March, and by the following January we had our first baby, little Sydney, our daughter. So we had her in 2005. I had my little boy Jackson in 2006. And just after he was born, we moved away from our hometown of Las Vegas to Virginia, a little tiny town in Virginia called Grundy, and my husband went to law school there. We lived there for 3 years, had our little boy Carter while we were there, moved back home to Las Vegas while my husband started his attorney career, and had our fourth little boy, well, our fourth child, Reese. And so he was born in 2011. I was always a stay-at-home mom. I worked from home for a little while for a law firm that I worked for in high school until we moved to Virginia. But I had decided I wanted to be home with my kids, so I stayed home. I raised my 4 kids. I sent my husband off to school every day. There were times where he wouldn't see our kids all day. He would leave so early to go to school and work that by the time he got home I had already put the kids to bed, and we would pack a lunch and go visit him at his office just so he could see the kids. We lived a busy life, but we were able to provide for ourselves while I was able to stay home, and he was able to earn that degree, be an attorney, and provide for our family. And we had it really good. We were able to have all the things we needed plus some, but we didn't have a lot of family time. McKay, my husband, was gone a lot, but that's something we sacrificed, and we were grateful to have what we had, and we went on with life. So after I had my 4th baby, Reese, my husband was busy. He was gone all the time. In fact, I remember once waking up, he was crying in the night, baby Reese, and it was 3 in the morning, and I had been up with him all night, and I had decided that it was McKay's turn to get up and rock the baby. So I woke McKay up, and I'm like, can you just, he doesn't need to eat, he's not hungry, I don't know what he needs, but will you go help him? And the next thing I knew, I heard McKay's car starting, and he had left for work. And he told me later, if I have to get up at 3 in the morning, I might as well go to work because I have a lot of work to do. And I remember just crying to myself. I felt like we had just we didn't have each other's back. It was me and the kids at home and McKay at work, and that was just our life. Anyway, during this time, I had gained a lot of weight. I was heavy, I was unhappy, I was depressed, I felt alone in my house with all these children, but I had it good, and I remember I just always felt like I had to keep telling myself, I have it good, I have it a lot better than a lot of people, and it didn't feel right to be ungrateful for what I had. So I continued doing what I do. After Reese was about 2 years old, I started losing weight. I decided it was time to take care of myself, and over a couple of years I lost about 100 pounds, and that was supposed to make everything better, because doesn't the world tell us that when you're skinny you're happy, and when you are healthy and take care of yourself that everything's good? Well, it wasn't. I was still depressed, I was still sad, I was still lonely in a house full of kids that I loved to death, but that I was missing something. So this goes on to about a year ago when I realized that in 1 year, all of my kids would be in school. And I would finally get a chance to do something for myself. Because I knew I always wanted to be home with them, but I felt like I needed more for me. So LuLaRoe came about as an opportunity for me, and I saw myself being able to do that. Being able to still stay home with my kids, but be able to provide, even if it was just enough to pay for the investment of LuLaRoe, and just something to keep myself busy and happy. So I did. I joined LuLaRoe in June of 2015, and I loved it. I immediately started finding a little bit of purpose. My 3 older kids were in school during the day, and my youngest worked right by my side with me all the time. And life was good. I got busy. My husband was working, and when I asked him for the money for the investment, he kind of, I think he kind of rolled his eyes and thought, whatever, here's $5,000. If this is going to make you happy, then good for you. Here you go. So he gave me the money. I invested in LuLaRoe, and I started working my buns off. So about 3 months in, I was so busy. My little couple hours a day hobby had become where I had women pounding down my door for more clothes, and I didn't have the time in the day to take care of my kids, take care of my husband, and take care of my business. So I kind of laid it out for McKay, and I said, here's what's going on. I kind of opened up my books, showed him what I'd been doing, and his eyes got huge, and he said, where did all this money come from? And I thought I only gave you $5,000. And how do you have so many clothes? And where did you find all these women to buy your clothes? And anyway, in November of last year, so I'd been in the business about 6 months, he started slowing down his law practice. And by January 1st of this year, he quit doing law and does LuLaRoe full-time with me. It has changed his life. He's home with us. He's home with me. He and I are a team, not only in our marriage like we always have been, but our marriage is stronger. We have a relationship with our kids that we've never had before, and we're happy. And I have found that thing that was missing from my life, that thing that I needed. And I have been able to share it with so many women and watch this business change lives. And it starts with the clothing. It starts with putting on something that feels good, something that, regardless of if you weigh 300 pounds or 100 pounds, it doesn't matter. I wish I would have known that when I weighed so much weight, that if I could have felt good, that it doesn't matter the skin that you're in, it's feeling good how you are. Anyway, that's kind of my story. Here we are now. We do LuLaRoe full-time together. We have an amazing team under us, and I'm here to kind of answer some questions for you guys. So here we go. I kind of wrote down some questions that you guys have asked me, questions that lots of other people have asked me, so we're going to start. How do you get into LuLaRoe? What the heck? How much does it cost? Does it work? Do you earn money? All of those things. So LuLaRoe, when you first sign up, you are required to purchase an initial inventory. That initial inventory consists of about 300 pieces, and the prices range from about $5,000 to $6,000. You get a set package when you first sign up, and it's going to have specific pieces and sizes so that when those clothes show up to your doorstep, you could have your girlfriends over and have a successful party that day, and that everybody, regardless of their size or their taste, is going to find something that they love. That initial inventory is the only time that you're required to purchase a specific set thing. Once you hang up the phone from purchasing that initial inventory, you can go in through the LuLaRoe software, which is called Audrey. You'll hear me talk about it a lot. And place an order that you want of anything, and the only requirement is that it's at least 33 pieces. So, you get your initial inventory, you have your girlfriends over, you sell 33 pieces, you can go into Audrey immediately and replenish those 33 pieces. So you could sell an Amelia dress and buy an Amelia dress, or maybe you sell an Amelia and you go and buy some leggings, or you buy some tops or skirts or whatever, and you're given that opportunity to change up your inventory after that initial purchase. People want to know, how long does it take to pay that investment off? When women join my team, I always suggest that they reinvest. If they can afford to, I suggest that they don't pay themselves back for 3 months. If you will take 90 days with that money that you invest, that initial $5,000 to $6,000, and everything you sell, if you'll dump your profits back into your business, after 3 months, you'll have a huge inventory. You'll have a huge following because the people in your group and the people who know you and your locals who come shop with you will know you for always having new inventory, for always having a booming business and things moving. And after 3 months, you're going to have an awesome following. And at that point, you're going to be able to pay yourself back like that. Like within a couple of weeks is my experience and women that are on my team. Now, if that's not a luxury that you have, that's okay. Some people need that money back. You're investing that $5,000 to $6,000 and some people need it like right now. So I always suggest, so you buy an Amelia dress, you sell it, and with that you're going to have about a $34 profit. At that point, you can decide what to do with that profit. Like I said, I always hope that you can put it right back into your business for those 3 months, but if you can't and you need to pay yourself back, then you pay yourself back that $34. Or maybe you split that $34 in two, and you put half of it back into your business and half of it back to paying yourself off for that initial investment. That's the awesome thing about LuLaRoe, is you get to choose how and when you pay yourself off, how quickly, how hard you work the business, how many hours you spend. It's up to you. Let's see. People always ask, can you earn money doing LuLaRoe without having a team? LuLaRoe is so different from a lot of other companies you've heard about, and I think the biggest difference is you can earn a ton of money by simply selling the clothes. You do not have to have a team to earn money in this business. The markup is really good. We're able to run a business by owning the clothes, selling the clothes, and going on with life. It's awesome. And another thing that makes LuLaRoe very different is it's not a catalog company. Most of you probably know, but maybe you don't, that when I, as a consultant, I'm ready to purchase inventory for my shop, I do not get to choose the prints that I get. I get to say, hey, I want 5 Julia dresses in size small, and I'm going to get 5 small Julias, but they're going to be all different prints. Some are going to be solid, some are going to be crazy, some are going to be what I think is ugly. That's just how it is. And it's awesome because what I think is ugly, somebody else is going to love. Somebody who loves floral is not going to necessarily love the geometric, but you're going to have all of it in your inventory because you don't get to choose it. LuLaRoe is genius in that way, that they've created this you know, your inventory is going to please every person in every style. So let's see, where was I? McKay, he's writing down questions that you guys are asking. So let's see. How many people are under me? Right now, I have about 25 women that are directly under me. I feel like at that point, I am able to train all of them. I'm able to reach out individually to those women and help them. And what I'm doing now is I'm allowing those 25 people under me to help me now mentor and train more women that join my team. So when you come and you join Team Brownie, you not only get me as a sponsor, but I'm going to have a rock star on my team that's going to be helping also. So total, I have about 35 women on my team right now. I started LuLaRoe, like I said, a little over a year ago. I started as a partnership, and in June of this year, after 1 year, I split that partnership and was able to start over fresh with a new team, and so that's where I am right now. How much did I do in my first 6 months, someone asked? Holy cow, I wish I had a number I could tell you, but after 6 months it was enough to just our sales. Like I said, I was in a partnership. Our sales was enough to have my husband quit working and my partner's husband quit working and replace our incomes and completely support our families. In December of last year, I wish I had exact numbers. I'll have to look those up, but a lot. We were doing a lot, you guys. There's a lot of people who want these amazing clothes, okay? someone asked, how long will this last, and how long do you feel like I can rely on it as a career? I feel like this is something I've thought about, and you better believe when I had my husband and we sat down and we made that decision for him to leave his law practice, that we better have thought it through and really kind of, you know, what if, worst case scenario. And we looked into the business. We've done our research, and Patrick is the designer for LuLaRoe, and he is legit. He's the real deal. He knows what he's doing. And if you follow LuLaRoe for very long, you know that they're constantly coming out with new styles. The prints, they print up to 2,700 pieces. Sorry. Why do I always get this wrong, honey? Is it 2,700? It changed. They're always changing. It used to only be 900 pieces. So LuLaRoe creates a print. They create it all on their own. They have their own design team. They make the fabric, they cut the fabric, and they only make it into about 2,700 pieces throughout LuLaRoe. That goes between all different sizes and styles, and once it's gone, it's gone. So it's always, always changing. Always. It's amazing. So will it last forever? Will LuLaRoe last forever? When people ask Deanne, the owner of that, she goes, well, are people going to wear clothes forever? And that's her way of saying, yeah, it's going to last forever. With the way that LuLaRoe is constantly following the trends, they're always up on fashion. They're coming out with new styles that, you know, women are always going to want comfortable, fashionable clothing. So for now, this works for our family. This is the career we've chosen. And, you know, going into it, we decided that, you know what, if LuLaRoe ended up not being around, we can always go back to what we did before. But I just don't see that happening. LuLaRoe is our long-term career. It is what our family is doing. 5,000, is that the number? Okay, 5,000 pieces. So one print gets cut into 5,000 pieces. That's it. You think when that's spread across all the consultants, across all the United States, it's always changing. Okay? Oh, more questions. Here we go. How did you prepare for your business? Okay, my business, this is how it went down. I saw my sponsor, Kira Tuiaki, who is also my cousin. I saw her at a bridal shower, and she was wearing this most gorgeous dress, and she had her hands in her pockets, and I said, holy cow, where did you get that dress? And it was an Amelia, and she said, I actually just started selling this. This is LuLaRoe, and I'm having a party right down the street afterwards. So I went to her party. It was amazing. I joined her VIP page on Facebook. I kind of watched her work the business for a few months and decided to join. By the time that I decided to join to the time that I got my clothes was 1 week. So it's a little different now, but it was quick. So how much preparing did I do for my business? About none. About none. I didn't have any racks. I didn't have any hangers. I didn't have much of anything. All I knew was I needed those clothes, and I was going to sell those clothes because they were amazing. Mostly, I wanted them so I could wear them. So I could have all that I wanted. Now, women are joining, and they have some time to think about. They have time to think about their business. There's a waiting list. There's a queue. And so they have, you know, 6 to 8 to 10 weeks to think about their business, and they're able to really get those clothes and take off running. But my saying has always been, and it will always be with LuLaRoe, all you need to sell the clothes are the clothes. You do not have to have $10,000 to go and set up a boutique and to buy everything and to invest and buy, you know, triple the inventory. You do not need all that. You will be able to sell the clothes by investing that initial $5,000 to $6,000 and having those clothes show up to your door and sell them right out. Let's see, waiting list, queue, you guys are like, what the heck are you talking about? Okay, so the way that it is now, LuLaRoe had a lot of growth in the beginning of this year, and it got to a point where there were so many people that wanted to sign up because LuLaRoe was so, you know, was growing and was so popular that they didn't have enough clothes in production to provide inventory for that many consultants, so they had to start a waiting list. There was a time there where the waiting list was almost 12 weeks long, where women would put in their application to join LuLaRoe, and 12 weeks later they would get the phone call saying, hooray, you finally get to order your clothes and you get to be part of LuLaRoe. Right now, that waiting list, honey, will you get me a charger? Right now that waiting list is between 6 and 8 weeks. And the way that works is you put in your LuLaRoe application, you email it, and you sign a link given to you by the consultant that you're signing up with, and that starts your waiting period. You then wait, you get your business ready, you do whatever things you want to do, you do your research, you prepare yourself, and after that waiting period, you pay at that point. So you don't have to pay ahead of time. So that's what the waiting list is right now, and the reason for it is that they want to be able to provide clothes and have enough inventory and enough stuff in stock to provide for you once you've invested that money. They don't want you to join LuLaRoe and then there's no clothes for you, and now all of a sudden you've invested $6,000 and you're relying on LuLaRoe to give you these clothes and they don't have them in stock. So rest assured knowing that once you're in, you're going to be taken care of. That being said, LuLaRoe is new, and it's been around for about 3 years, just over 3 years. And it is a growing company, and it has growing pains. Let me tell you, they're learning. They're growing quickly, and they are doing amazing things. They're growing and have a business unlike any other business ever. And I'm pretty sure that I can say that and mean it. They're amazing. So there you go. Awesome. McKay, you have somebody who wants you to email them. He's over there watching comments. So if I miss your questions, he's looking at them. So there you go. Okay. Splitting a partnership. One person has to start over? Question mark. Okay. Let me talk to you a little bit about joining as a partnership. Something that I didn't know, that my partner didn't know, and really that I think LuLaRoe didn't really know when we signed up. I signed up as a partnership. We both put our names on the contract as co-applicants, so we were both considered the fashion consultant. It wasn't like one of us and one under the other. We were together. We didn't know at the time that if and when the time came that we wanted to split, that we would not be able to split the team that was under us. The reason for that is that you can imagine in a company like this where it's you sign up under somebody and you know the person you sign up under does earn some money from sponsoring you and from training you, that if you were to split up a team, it would affect all the people up the line in LuLaRoe of who gets what percentage and all that. So it came down to it that when we split, we had to make an agreement outside of LuLaRoe of how to buy each other out of our existing partnership and the existing team that we had built. So that's right. My partner was able to keep the team. I made the agreement that we bought each other out, and I started a fresh team. So that's kind of how that works. So now when I have women come to me who want to start as a partnership, I always encourage them that, especially if the reason that they're joining together is to come up with the money, because a lot of times the investment, the money is the issue, and it's much easier to come up with, only $3,000 than $6,000. I always suggest that they sign up together, but that they only put one name on the contract. They put that name on the contract, they invest the money, and as they earn money from their business, they save it, and when they have enough, they sign up the other person as their own consultant. And they can sign up under the same sponsor or sign up under each other. Now, in the eyes of their, as far as being a team, if they want to work together, nobody in the world has to know that they aren't really a partnership. They could think that they work together, and nobody has to know the paperwork behind it. But that way, as they recruit and as they have a team, which will happen, even if you don't want it to, people will see what you do, see that you love what you do, and they'll want to join your team. That way you could kind of split up the recruits. You take one, I take one, you take one, I take one. So that if the day came that you were going to split, you would each have a team to take with you, because you would actually be separate consultants. So that's how I always suggest they do it now. How much is my bonus with 25 people? So my first bonus check as my own new consultant came in July, last month in July, and it was just over $4,000. And then this month I just got my second bonus check, and it was $5,800. And that's just bonus. That's just my bonus for the 25 people that I have under me. That doesn't include the money that I earn off my sales. So I hope you guys are okay with me telling you numbers, because those are my numbers. Now, I've been doing it for a year, so I'm splitting the check still, the bonus check of my prior partnership. So I'm earning money from that too. So, but that's after just 2 months. My bonus check is about $5,800 a month. Let's see. How do you build a following? Building a following in Facebook. So, the way to do that is I decided that I wanted my group, my Facebook, to feel like a party. The part that I love most about LuLaRoe is the in-person interaction. I love having parties. I love having hostesses. I love having women come over and try on the clothes and watching them sparkle. My husband calls it the sparkle. Watching them put on clothes that fit them, that feel good. So I decided my online needed to be the same. I needed that same interaction with the women, that I kind of got to know them, and that it was a fun place, and that when they lay down at night and they want to play Candy Crush on their phone, that instead maybe they'll come over and see what the heck Brownie's up to today. And I know that that's a thing that creates a following. It's being real. It's being a person. It's not having, the perfect life, but kind of showing, how my life as a LuLaRoe consultant is. I tell people all the time, you do not have to work this business 24 hours a day, but you do have to work it every day. If you have a full-time job, that is just fine. There are plenty of people who are extremely successful in LuLaRoe who also have a full-time job. You do not have to, work your full-time job and then work your full-time LuLaRoe, but you do have to work it every day. When I say that, think of this. When I go on vacation, I'm not sitting there posting clothes and sending invoices and everything, but I am taking pictures of me and my family wearing our LuLaRoe out and about at Disneyland. Or I'm doing a giveaway. Or a lot of times, when I go to the water park that's here in my hometown, I'll bring a Lindsay in my beach bag with me, and I'll put out there for my locals. If you're at the water park today, come find me. I have a free Lindsay for you. Things like that. When I'm with my family, I'm with my family. But I'm always thinking about LuLaRoe, because that's also my life. So that's how I build a following. I work on it every day. I take a picture of what I'm wearing, I post it on Instagram, and I just try to create a community. How do you get paid? With LuLaRoe, as you know, when you invest, you purchase all the clothing from LuLaRoe at wholesale. When you get that initial inventory, you own every single piece. You don't owe any money to anybody. So when you buy an Amelia dress and you sell it, that money is yours. Somebody gives you cash for an Amelia dress, you can take that cash and go put it in your checking account, and it's yours. Now, hopefully what you would do is you would reinvest and purchase another Amelia dress, but it's up to you. You don't owe LuLaRoe any money for that dress. You don't owe your sponsor for any money for that dress. That money is yours. When you take a credit card payment, like I was talking about the software called Audrey, you're able to run a card payment. Like if somebody was standing right here and they wanted to buy with a card, I'm able to type in their card information. It runs it through that system and deposits to a bank account that I have on file with LuLaRoe, my personal bank account. As far as getting paid as a sponsor, all you do for that is, like I said, if someone joins my team and they sell an Amelia dress, they don't owe me anything. But what LuLaRoe does is they say, good job, Carissa, you're training your girl. I can tell you're doing good because she's selling the clothes. So every time that she buys clothes from us, we're going to cut you a check for 5% of what she orders. Does that make sense? So I earn 5% of everything that is purchased from the warehouse by the girls on my team. And it goes deeper than that, different percentages, different ranks and all of that. But when you first start, you get one girl on your team and you earn 5% of everything that she purchases from day one. And I'll teach you more. I can teach you more about all the different ranks and the different ways that you earn money with LuLaRoe, but that's the basics of it. That's how you get paid. More questions. Why do some people have assistants? Do they get paid too? So, how are you curling your hair? Well, you want to know about this This is a little tool called the Deep V Waver, and it reminds me of the 80s crimper, except it's huge. It's like this big. Okay, it's massive. I grab a piece of hair and it crimps it like this. Crimp, crimp. And I do it in 3 or 4 layers. Those are my waves. So there you go. Check it out on Amazon. There you go. Okay, that's how I get my curls. Okay. There we go. Why do some people have assistants? Okay, so remember I was telling you how I joined LuLaRoe in June. By about June, July, August, like September, October, my partner and I, who we were working together, we were so busy. And this kind of hobby that we'd had became a little bit more than a hobby. We were ending up working a lot more hours than we'd planned. We were trying to do parties at night, and it was becoming a little bit overwhelming for us, but we were having so much fun and we didn't want to pull back. So at that point, that's when people hire an assistant. And that, you can pay an assistant however you like to. You can pay them in clothes. And assistants sometimes come and they take pictures for you. Maybe they send invoices for you. Whatever things that you need help with, a lot of people get assistants. In my case, as it is now, my assistant is my husband. He works full-time with me. He's over there laughing. He's my full-time assistant over there. He gets paid really well. So it's up to you. You pay them however agreement that you want on your own. And it can be the, you know, neighbor high school kid. It could be whoever. But that's how assistants work. Right here, right now, McKay and I are able to run our shop without any assistants. It's just the 2 of us. And our child labor kids. You know, we put them to work too. What is trainer? First of all, a trainer is somebody who gets a watch like this. The way you become a trainer, oh, you got to see. It's really a beautiful watch, really. Can you see it? LuLaRoe. Anyway, a trainer is when you have 10 women on your team. And they can be directs, or you can have just 3 that are directly under you and 10 total. So you could have 3 people sign up under you, and maybe those 3 then have 7 others sign up under them, but a total of 10 with 3 being directly under you considers you as a trainer. And when you hit trainer, you then get more perks and benefits, and it makes your bonus check go up. That's what a trainer is. Okay. Comment, okay, some people are asking, like, tell me about Shop the Row and Google Docs, things like that. There are all sorts of ways to help you do your business out there. There are all sorts of forms that people have created, software that people have created to make this business run a little bit easier, because let's face it, Facebook is not made to sell clothes on, but we kind of tweak it and we make it work that way. Those different softwares and methods are made to help you with that. In my experience, my husband and I, we've toyed with some of those things, and in the end, we always go back to the basics of running our business on our own. When it comes down to it, I already have to rely on the internet to work. I have to rely on Facebook to work. I have to rely on my electricity to work, and that's enough to rely on. When I also have to rely on all these other softwares to run my business for me, it freaks me out. So we don't use Google Docs and we don't use Shop the Row, but there are a ton of people who do and they love it. Somebody asked how many for coach. So the way that it goes is when you first sign up as in LuLaRoe, you are considered a fashion consultant. If you have even just 1 girl sign under your team, you're considered a sponsor. Once you have 10 on your team, you're considered a trainer. And to become a coach, you have to have 3 trainers on your team. And then the next is called mentor, and a mentor has 3 coaches on their team. As it is, I am a coach. When I split from my partner, I was able to keep my coach status. I still go to all the coach trainings. I am on the coach phone calls because I'm still helping mentor my existing team and my new team. So I am a coach in LuLaRoe, working hard towards mentor. All right, what else have we got? Let's see. People ask me all the time if I'm too busy. And in fact, a lot of times my own team, you know, they'll send me a text message like, I'm sorry, I know you're busy. Here's the deal. I'm busy, and any mom or woman or anyone knows that we're busy. Whether we're home with 3 little kids, home with 1 little kid, home with 4 kids, and work full time, single mom, married mom, have a nanny, regardless of what it is, we're busy. Okay? We are all busy. However, we decide personally what we can take on. And me, as Carissa Whitney, I have 4 kids. My husband works here full time with me. We run a LuLaRoe business, and we are busy, but we have time. I tell my team that all the time. I am here for you. I will be busy with whatever I've got to do that day, but my team comes first. When they send me a text message, when they reach out to me, when they need to come over, when they need a video chat, I'm there for them. So like I said, when I feel like I'm too busy, I'm training girls on my team who show great leadership skills. They're helping me coach my team. We have an amazing, amazing team, and my team page on Facebook, we answer each other's questions. It's amazing. Anastasia says, I'd rather be busy than bored. Amen, sister.
Did you answer this?
Let's see. Yes, I did. Okay, I'm looking at my questions here.
I don't think you answered these.
Okay, people ask all the time, how many pieces do you think you should have? Your initial investment is going to start out with about 300 pieces. If all you ever carried was 300 pieces, it's going to be a little bit hard. If you already had a huge following, you could have 300 pieces and flip through those pieces quickly, but I think that the sweet spot for the amount of inventory is between 1,000 and 1,200 pieces. I think when you have that much, you have something for everyone. When somebody comes to your shop, they're going to know that they want a large Julia, and when they go look, you're going to have 10 of them in their size. If there's 10, they're going to find something that they love. If there's only 3, I don't know, they might not. So that's kind of what I think. Why no sale pricing? So when I first signed up, back in June of last year, the rule was that you could have a sale, but it couldn't last more than 24 hours. So, you know, you had to sell at the suggested retail price, and then you could sell under that, but only for 24 hours. They have changed that since then. There is still a suggested retail price for each item that is what you use in person. So if I have somebody show up here at my door, I have a window of, you know, $6 to $10 that I can sell an item from. So if I'm feeling like I want to have a pop-up boutique and I want to give a discount to my teachers, I'm able to give a discount to my teachers and still be within that suggested retail pricing. Now online, let's see, January of this year they came out with MAP pricing, and that stands for minimum advertised price. And it is required that all consultants sell online for that price. The reason for that is I don't want to wave my flag over here and say shop with me, because I'm gonna always sell my Amelia dresses for $55, while so and so down the street is selling them for $60, or you know, so and so on the East Coast is selling them for $65. It wasn't fair. It was making other consultants undercut, and it was damaging the brand of LuLaRoe. LuLaRoe is worth the money, and we know that as consultants, and anyone who tries the clothes will believe you and understand you too. And although the prices may seem steep to some people, once they try the clothes, they will understand that the quality, it's there. It's what it's worth, and the way that it makes you feel and the comfort of the clothes is worth the money. So now we are required to advertise only at MAP pricing. No sales online and no selling below that MAP pricing. If that's something that's happening, it's against policy and procedures, and it's not allowed. What else? Someone said, I saw you earned a vacation. Yes. A goal that I set for everybody who joins my team is to cruise qualify. What that means is LuLaRoe does an incentive cruise every year. It is a 7-day completely paid for cruise for you and your spouse or your plus one or whoever you want to take with you. The way that you earn that is by selling 12, is it 12? Oh my gosh. 12,000 in gross sales per month for 4 consecutive months. And that equals out to about 400 pieces a month, which is about 100 pieces a week. If you do that for 4 months, you get to go on this all-included, paid-for cruise with LuLaRoe. And this year, the cruise is in February this coming year, and LuLaRoe has rented the entire cruise ship for LuLaRoe. That's amazing. And I'm so excited. And there are women who cruise qualify the first 4 months of joining LuLaRoe. It happens all the time. It is totally possible. And when you break that down, if you're selling $12,000 gross in a month, we'll just say conservatively that the profit is about 50%. That means you've just earned $6,000 on your sales in your shop. Think of that. What would $6,000 extra dollars a month do for your family? That's just on your sales. That's if you have no team, no desire for a team, none yet. Okay? How long to earn back your initial investment? We kind of talked about this. Like I said, if you want to, I always suggest that for 3 months you reinvest. But if you needed to pay yourself back right away, it can be done in as soon as a month, sometimes less. I have had people pay back their investment in 10 days. If you work this business, you book parties, you introduce these clothes to people who haven't seen them before, and you hustle, you will earn that money back like that. So, there's some questions for you. Leah, thank you for telling that. She says that she joined in the beginning of July and she's paid back $4,000 already. It's amazing. Harmony is on my team. She says she made back her initial investment in less than a month. This business will work for you. You'll love it. It's amazing. And I always guarantee the girls who I talk to that they will not fail. And I always have to explain to them, what does fail mean? What does fail mean? To me, failing means losing money, losing that investment. I always guarantee my girls that they will not lose that investment. They will pay themselves back. If it turns out that LuLaRoe is not for them, it doesn't work for their family, it doesn't work for them in whatever way, I help them. We make them break even. It's just what I do. I have had a life. Early years of my marriage, we were extremely poor. I know how it is to sacrifice. I know how it is to invest that money. I know how it is to have a husband who doesn't want to give you the money, and so I will not let you fail. So there you go. Taxes. Taxes is an important one. And it's something a lot of times the husband wants to know about. Taxes are simple. If you do not have an LLC, which you do not have to have a business license to do this business, it is a home-based business like Tupperware or Scentsy or Mary Kay. If you do that, at the end of the year, when you're doing your personal taxes, you write on there that you earned an extra $5,000 doing LuLaRoe, just as if you were at home babysitting or anything else, and you write that as extra income, and you'll pay taxes on it. If you decide to get an LLC, which I did after a few months once I realized that I was earning a lot of money, then you're able to do tax write-offs and things like that. And at that point, I always suggest you get an accountant because I don't know what the heck I'm talking about when it comes to all that. So, taxes. As far as sales tax, that awesome thing, Audrey, that I keep talking about, the software from LuLaRoe, when you run a payment through LuLaRoe, they collect the sales tax and file it to your state for you. So you don't even have to touch that money, and it's awesome. My rack behind me with my solids. Yes, this is my rainbow of solid leggings. Don't you love that? And this is just a rack that I got at Costco. There you go. That's my rack system. I think we're kind of winding down. So, you will probably have more questions after you watch this, or if you're watching it now. I want you to reach out to me. Send me an email. My email address is lularoebrownie@gmail.com. If you are interested in joining LuLaRoe, contact me. Let's have a video chat. Let me answer more of your questions. Let me help you come up with a business plan to present to your husband who doesn't want to give you $5,000, because I've been there, and I've helped lots of women who have been there. Reach out to me. Let's talk about it. I want to help you like LuLaRoe has helped me So shoot me an email, LuLaRoeBrownie@gmail.com, and I love you all. Bye, guys.